Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Please be joined by the one, the only Freddie Londo of Brighton Football. How's it going?
Good. How are you doing, Casey?
Doing well. A pretty good start to the season. Um, 4-1 on the year. I should say that because obviously with the
Yep.
news yesterday that unfortunately Celine had to forfeit three of their games due to a residency violation. Um, Brighton, Dexter, and Ann Arbor Pioneer will be credited with wins, and of course Celine would now fall to 2-3. So that's kind of the update there. But of course, coming off a big win last week against Heartland, and you guys needed a big win after a tough loss to Novi the week before.
Yeah. So after that loss to Novi, it definitely sucked a lot, and we had to recollect and went into Heartland week ready to go, all fired up the whole week, and we just ended up having a great game.
I know obviously, it's the first county rival of the year. Obviously, everyone talks about the streak that you guys have with them. To continue that, now it's at 10.
Yep.
What was that like to extend the streak and to come off, I would say probably one of your best games of the season?
Yeah. So that was very exciting, adding another year to it, 10 years. And that was very exciting, like beating them and just keeping the streak alive. And the celebration with the fireworks after, that was amazing. And I know how great it is to defeat a streak, especially with the hockey team,
Yeah,
getting that 9 year streak or so. So
yeah.
to keep it going feels really good, and we're just planning for next week.
So I forgot about that 9-year streak. Um, of course, this week, well, before we get to this week's game, I know you've had to battle through a lot of things to get back to really where things are. But what a performance that you had yourself. I know the ball kind of went around everywhere a little bit. What was that like um to be the starring role on a few plays there?
Yeah, I really like that. It's a lot of fun because the play will be like designed for me. So especially those buzzes, that's really good, and the screen passes. But we have amazing players all around on the offense. Plenty of good receivers, running backs, quarterback, and it all just clicks.
Yeah. Also, I know you've had to battle back from some things over the off season. What was that like to come back from and to have the season like you're having now?
Yeah, so last baseball season, hurting my arm with my elbow and my shoulder, that was definitely a setback. I couldn't do a lot of sports for a few months. Couldn't do baseball, hockey, football, any of it. So I kind of just had to learn from the sidelines, and finally getting back towards the end of summer and beginning of fall, very exciting, and just put a lot of hard work into it, lifting more so I could be ready for the season.
So going into, now we're at the halfway point of the right. Well, we've passed the halfway point. We're now 4 games. We only have 4 games left in the regular season. Of course, and then of course the next 2 weeks are at 3 out of the next 4 for you guys are going to be played at home. So
Yeah.
what's that going to be like to play in front of the home fans 3 out of the 4 times?
So yeah, that's very exciting. We really like that because a lot of our tough games were on the road so far this year. So now that we finally got a home crowd, the city behind us, it's really going to be special, and hopefully we can come out with 4 wins.
Yeah. So, how have you kind of just grown as just as a football player and just as a receiver as well?
Yeah, so playing not nearly as much as I did this year compared to last year, I had to learn a lot from the sidelines, and especially being hurt. I was watching all my teammates and how they ran their routes, how they played, and it helped me a lot.
Yeah. And just, playing all these different sports, you mentioned football, hockey, baseball. What's that like to just go from one thing to the next to the next?
You know, it is a little tiring on the body, but it's just really fun. Helped me made a lot of friends, and I just love playing sports. So it's great to be with all the guys and try to win something at the end of each season.
Absolutely. How do you get like mentally ready for a game? Ready?
Um, so I usually listen to a lot of music before or like go on a little walk, separate myself from the team after team dinner, and then just hang out, probably do a little stretching on my own, and then just get geared up and ready to go.
Absolutely. Um, and finally, I know that obviously, you gotta get next opponent up. Of course, getting ready for Canton, coming into town this week. What's that going to be like to try to get to 5-1 on the year?
We've been working really hard, especially after that Heartland win. We want to keep it going. Practice was good this week. We feel ready to go. Keep that get a 5-1 lead or get a 5-1 record.
Yeah. All right. Freddie, let's get to know you a little bit. How about that?
All right.
Okay. Favorite what's your who's your all-time favorite athlete in any sport?
No, I used to like Michael Jordan a lot, but now I really think it's Deion Sanders. I like watching him play. He was really fun. Lots of highlights.
Yeah. Let's see. What's your like go-to place for food?
McDonald's.
Okay. All right. Best moments so far from your football career, or no, really anything else?
Yeah, so this is only my third year of football, so I feel like I don't have too many, but probably my first touchdown was on JV sophomore year in my first year. That was great, but in the Novi game, making that diving catch was definitely my favorite memory so far.
Okay. And then finally, what's an interesting fact people do not know about you?
Um, I usually say I played three sports, but I feel like that's kind of boring. So an interesting fact I'd say is my sister and I were born 3 years, 3 months, and 3 days apart.
That's very interesting. So, all
Yeah.
right. All right. Well, Freddie, thanks so much for the time as always, and best of luck this week against Canton.
Thank you, Casey.